So I would not look as if I was waiting for someone from that unit. And then you're gonna give me your money. And I kind of predicted that. Oh wait, never mind, I read it wrong. I feel like an idiot. I feel like an idiot. I was reading that wrong. But I think if it comes out that she didn't use the money for this purpose, she's gonna have to give that money back. Or thinking about quitting streaming when he was being called a Hamas supporter. Okay, so the other story I wanted to bring up was that Destiny was unbanned a couple days ago. Literally. You know, guys. You know Stephen B. He was unbanned, and he's been banned from Twitter for like 10 years now, I think. I don't know about that, but yeah, he's been banned on Twitter. Did I say Twitter? Twitch. His Twitch. He was unbanned, but then he was rebanned, like shortly after. Dan Clancy came out and put out a... Hold on, let me move on. Pull this up real quick. He came out with a... I know it's not going to pull up. He came out with a statement about it. He literally did. If it'll pull up. Yeah, Dan Clancy, if you don't know, he's the creepy guy over at Twitch. He's the CEO. He's the guy who hangs out and like e-girl chats and stuff. He's kind of known for it. And this video may not pull. Oh god, this video may not pull up. Oh, I feel a little bit better now. Come the fuck on. Hold on. Yeah, shout out to Yeet for posting these clips, by the way. Yeah, here he is talking about the situation at hand.
The Destiny thing. A human made an error in terms of the unbanning. It was quickly detected and corrected. It's a highlight that many people don't realize they're humans doing things. Humans sometimes make mistakes. Luckily, we were able to quickly detect this. So this was not something that was intentional. We detected it quickly and fixed it.
Okay, sorry about that. I kind of have a theory. Do you think this was done to like reinforce the idea that there's still humans that work in the moderation in the content regulatory team? I kind of think this. I don't have any evidence of it because this is probably likely the story. But it could just be that maybe he was trying to prove that, yeah, we're still human over here. We're not using AI. We're not using. And of course, people, they hear AI, they're like, oh, not the AI. It's taking over everything. Kind of is, though. Kind of is. An inevitability. But yeah, people were confused at first. I heard Destiny talking about it. He had a theory that he was unbanned by the moderation team, and then Hassan like got on. I may have that clip. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, Hassan contacted Dan Clancy by phone and said, "What the fuck?" And then he was banned again. I could believe that, because you know Hassan and Dan Clancy are like this. It's reported that Dan Clancy really likes Hassan. Like, I think he even threw him a birthday party some years ago on stream. So, I don't think Hassan likes Dan Clancy as much, but it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me if that were the case. Anyway, that was a little tidbit. We'll be seeing Destiny later, as we're going to talk about... Oh, here's the clip. Never mind. Hold on.
A human made an error in terms of the unbanning. It was quickly detected and corrected.
Detected?
Here we go.
By what?
It's a highlight that many people don't realize they're humans doing things. Humans sometimes make mistakes. Luckily, we were able to quickly detect this. So this was not something that was intentional. We detected it quickly and fixed it.
Yeah, I like how they're talking about me like I'm a fucking virus, like I'm Agent Smith. It's like we were able to detect the anomaly and we quashed it immediately.
Very sorry about any of the confusion that was driven by that. Let me just see.
Jesus, I'm like the fucking most persecuted man on the planet. What the fuck? Do you have a special Destiny sensor?
Yeah, it's called Hassan fucking
Yeah,
DMing
so
him.
What was this?
but I'm not going to answer questions about individual streamers and their status. Okay, in general, we do not talk about any specific streamers, any specific decisions, whether it's a ban or not a ban, or
Is that true? Am I making this up? Or I thought when Dan Clancy came back, I thought one of the things that he did that was so new was he talked specifically about like Sneeko and specifically about Aiden Ross and specifically about
Hassan Piker.
Am I making that up? I thought he was like explicitly and specifically talking about. Dude, I can't believe even Hassan told him you can't mention Destiny. Don't bring up the name. Don't mention him. Don't mention him. Just don't bring his name up. I'm literally fucking Voldemort to these people. Holy shit.
Okay, I want to come to this.
He who must not be named. Yeah, I could believe that. I do think Destiny deserves an unban. Or at least Hassan deserves a ban. If you're going to ban Destiny, you got to ban Hassan. That's my opinion. Come on. Come on, it's a good opinion. What? It's a Dingo opinion. But I do think it's time to unban a lot of people on Twitch. And that place is unfairly moderated. I hate it. I won't even stream there. Like, we might stream there in the future, but it'll be like a multi-stream. And I will be walking on eggshells. I'll be walking on dog shells. What? I'll be walking on Kaya shells. Dude, I think I heard Hassan crashing out about freaking quitting streaming, or thinking about quitting streaming when he was being called a Hamas supporter. What? Because we all know. Hassan is a Hamas supporter. He's a Hamas enjoyer. Anyway, that's that. Banned, unbanned, banned again. Make up your mind, Twitch. Just unban him. Or maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to move on to my favorite topic of lawsuits that I've been engaged with for, and not deeply engaged with. I sort of just wait till the updates come out. But it's come out that Mr. or Mrs. Miss Frogman, our favorite streamer, Frogan, has defaulted, or been defaulted, on her lawsuit. Basically, Ethan Klein sued her and won. Now, hold on. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing what people are saying about this. It's like, it's not over. And I think that's the case, right? I think it is a case. Because he's already sort of settled his lawsuit with Casey Tron. He won that one. She basically, what he did is, I think he wrote the apology and said, you're going to read this on camera, and then you're going to give me your money. And I kind of predicted that, right? I kind of predicted that's what happened. That's what would happen. And I think that's what might happen here. Although I have some other predictions with how this case might go. Because it's not just that Frogan has lost. And she may see mercy from the Kleins, right? It may be she's shown no mercy. Right? Because look, while there has been a default judgment entered in on it, and it does look like Frogan was basically ignoring this whole thing, I think she could still appeal. I think she could still appeal the case and continue on with the defense of the lawsuit, because it's all tied up in copyright, right? She streamed a live stream with Hassan. Not with Hassan, but it had Hassan and Frogan in it. And of course, she tried to react to it, but ended up saying some silly things like, don't give Ethan views while live streaming his video. Whoops. Well, what he did was he actually copyrighted the video and then went after Casey Trine, Denims, and Frogan. Frogman. The Frog. If you know who any of these people are, they're basically orbiters of Hassan Piker, and that's all they do. They do political stuff. They talk about Palestine, Gaza, Israel, to ad nauseum. So you got basically 3 people wrapped up, well, now 2, because Casey Tron settled her lawsuit with Ethan, where she, I think if I remember the details, she had to give a statement, basically giving an apology. And I think she had to apologize to a few other people too. Like AB, Starkiller, I think she had to apologize to. I can't remember for what. But the end result of that was she had to apologize, and I think she had to try to help something. She ended up having to admit that Hassan Piker didn't give her any money, didn't fund her legal defense. And also, she was, and this is one thing I did predict that was right. I'm like, instead of going into, like, debt for, like, whatever money, I think it was like $150,000, $190,000, something like that Ethan was asking for to settle. He said, you know what? The water under the bridge, you read this script. And I don't know if he wrote it or she wrote it. I'm guessing he's the editor at least. But she had to give him her GoFundMe money, or what was left of it. Now, Destiny's reacting to this whole lawsuit thing right now, as a lot of people are. And this was, like, I guess, streamed May 20th, the 21st, so a few days ago. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Button. Am I crazy? It appearing from the records in the above entitled action that summons has been served upon the defendants named below, because you have to be able to serve them with paperwork to put them on notice that there's a lawsuit that's required. And it further appearing from the affidavit of counsel for plaintiff and other evidence as required by the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 55A, that each of the below defendants have failed to plead or otherwise defend in said action as directed in said summons and as provided in the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So my guess is this has to do with how you're supposed to respond to a complaint, or this is to the rules for entering a default judgment. Entering a default. When a party against whom a judgment for affirmative relief is sought has failed to plead or otherwise defend, and that failure is shown by affidavit or otherwise, the clerk must enter the party's default. Plead means she didn't, that's like the first stage. So they really didn't even reply to the initial complaint? Can anything negative happen from Do from this, as long as you have money? I mean, hopefully there's a countersuit available, and hopefully I can block her from ever taking the bar. That each of the below defendants have failed to plead or otherwise defend and
Wait, go back. What did he say?
Available, and hopefully I can block her from ever taking the bar. Lie to the initial complaint? Can anything negative happen from Do from this, as long as you have money? I mean, hopefully.
I'm going to minimize it because there's some, there's some names. It's all public now, but, we're not going to say names. Only the most popular of people get a name. They get a shout out. That is not Frogan.
There's a countersuit available. And
although she should be. She really should be, by all the freaking carrying that the anti-fan community does, and of course Cutie Cinderella and all that jazz, and all the awards she'd win. Damn, she should be more popular. But no, I don't even know why.
Hopefully
I have a theory as to why. I think a lot of these lefty streamers, people are just fed up with it. They're tired about hearing about Gaza. They're tired about hearing about Ethan Klein. They're tired of it. I think people are just moving away from the snarkers in general. Certainly not Denims. Denims is probably the most popular and most profitable out of all three. And probably stands the best chance of prevailing against this lawsuit. Destiny's going to give some opinions that I kind of thought on my own. Maybe Frogan figures that maybe by trying to ignore this, she could just, I don't know, maybe get slide without having to do much in the way of trying to give information to Ethan Klein, because that may be part of a hypothetical settlement. And maybe she's thinking she'll get some type of sweet deal with Ethan Klein. Like, I think he gave Casey Tron. We'll have to pull up the Casey Tron apology. We'll just have to do that. Hold on, let's go on.
We're taking the bar. That each of the below defendants have failed to plead or otherwise defend in said action as directed, blah, 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 blah. Now, therefore, on request of counsel, the default of each of the following named defendants is hereby entered. What did she do with all the money she raised? This just means that, how do you decide how much?
Oh, yeah. Check this out. Her GoFundMe is still up. Check this out. Frogan's Legal Defense Fund. You gotta check this out. Check this out. After nearly 2 years of targeted harassment campaign against me, you guys, like, this is the behavior that people hate about Frogan, and you know they'll attack you as they cry out, and it's just nonsense. But yeah, she was reacting to the content nuke on Hassan Piker, that Ethan Klein, and he literally was playing 4D chess with this. I think. I mean, he said as much, so I believe him. But she still has the 38,836 raised out of 200K. She was trying to raise 200K. I guess she got 922 donations, and I think the last dono she got was a day ago, maybe less time now. She's still getting money. Not much. Like, at this point, I think the trolls are just rolling in now. You got Bearing Bear here for $5 14 hours ago. Just getting in on the class action. This one's a $5 dono. It says Ethan won. Ethan won. The trolling has begun. The trolling has begun. They're still trolling. Like 8 months ago, it says, nice hustle. Tons of fun. Next time, eat a salad. So not all of these are like supporters, obviously. A lot of them are. A lot of them probably. A lot of them are because people don't like Ethan Klein either. That's wild. But what I thought was wild about this, and I only caught this recently, she has a little slideshow. I guess you can upload multiple pictures on your front page of your GoFundMe. What is this? Hold on. I hope this doesn't... Okay. Hold on. Anyway, you got to check this out. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to do a zoom. Oh my god. I don't care. What? I don't care. Listen, watch this. If you go over and slide over one time, you can see she's put up a picture. I don't know if she put this up or who did. But why does it say 161,199? Oh wait, never mind. I read it wrong. I feel like an idiot. I was reading that wrong. She's literally that's the amount she's got to get to 200K. She is never going to reach 200K. Not after this. Unless her lawsuit continues. Okay, that was a stupid aside. I thought I was onto something. I thought I was making fun of somebody for a second. Nope. I made fun of myself. I read it wrong. Anyway, her GoFundMe's still up. And people are asking themselves, what happened to the money? Why haven't you responded? Why did this go to default? Like, here's another thing. I was asking on Twitter, and people were also asking us, like, is this fraud at this point? Because at this point, if she has not spent one penny on this lawsuit, then she's basically committed fraud. And I do believe that GoFundMe can nail you to the wall with that stuff. Like, you can get in serious trouble doing stuff like this. Like, I went through their TOS, and they were basically saying, if there's fraud here, we'll refund all the donations, even if you don't have it anymore, and then we'll hit your bank account. Like, they could ruin you. Hopefully she has at least spent some money on something. Because if they come to her and say, we're going to need you to prove that some of this money went to the legal defense fund, right? The legal defense. And if she can't, they could literally nail her. Like, first thing they'll do is they'll refund all the donations to everybody who donated. You know, they'll pay for it. And then they'll hit her bank account. Like, overnight, you could owe $38,000. And if it's not in the bank account, well, that's some serious overdraft right there. That's what that is. Like, for that amount, your banking would most likely come after you civilly. They would. They just would. They'd close your account, and then they'd probably say, okay, we're going to need you to pay this money plus whatever fees. They'd take you to court. And yeah, it's ruination. I have to wonder. Like, she better be pulling out some She better be pulling out some receipts. Yeah, still up. GoFundMe. So it leads me to believe that she might do an appeal. To what avail, I don't know. Let's go back to Destiny and see what he says.
The default judgment is. Since it's given by a statutory amount here, would it just be in the matter of $100,000? I don't remember what that is. It $150,000? Is it automatically the max judgment, or did they file anything? Hold on. Okay, so the complaint is filed by plaintiff. That's Ethan Klein. There's a similar naming mistake / error in the latest filing by Brettler. They had the name at the bottom of the email, but it was for a person we're calling Abby MC, but we can't use the full name, which is like 4 more letters. Fucking stupid. Stupid. But whatever. That's their cover name, okay? Civil cover sheet filed by plaintiff. Request for clerk to issue summons on complaint filed by plaintiff. Interesting. I don't know what is a summons here? Is this a way of asking the court to serve the defense, maybe? What is a summons here technically? Summons resources and Westlaw provides... Okay. A particular note providing detailed guidance on the service of a defendant summons under the criminal procedure rules. I'm guessing they issued this. Certificate of interested parties filed by plaintiff. Report on the filing of an action regarding a copyright filed by TED Entertainment. Notice of lodging filed by plaintiff TED Entertainment. Notice of assignment to a district judge.
Dude, I want to read some of these. Where's he getting this from? I wonder if you have to actually sign in. Maybe I shouldn't pull that up.
These are the people who are going to be judging the case. Register of copyrights. What was this? Court on filing of copyright action. Oh, stuff for the record, I guess, to show what they're suing over or something, maybe. Notice to counsel. Read consent to proceed before a U.S. magistrate judge. 21-day summons issued. Read complaint. So this is the summons issued. Wait, are you allowed to ask the court to issue a summons, or can you do it yourself, or does it depend, or you request a court to issue a summons? Okay, so you don't usually issue it on your own. Standing order by Judge John F. Walter. Read this order carefully. It controls the case and differs in some respects from the local rules. Oh, because this was filed in federal court, I guess. Okay, this is all.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. I have my thoughts on what likely will happen in this case. She'll appeal, and then the case could go on, and several months down the line, she finally settles. If she doesn't appeal and defaults, I could literally see Ethan Klein like nailing her, like intensely, just because of the behavior, I guess. Maybe it's likely we'll see a Casey trial, and it all depends on if he wins or if it just gets too bogged down. There are some people thinking that Frogan is actually colluding with Denims in some way. I literally thought they had the same attorney. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You know, Hassan should step up and maybe help her out, because I think I don't know if she thinks I don't think she knows what she's doing, or she's gotten some bad legal advice. A lot of people have said that. Like, it's amazing. You probably should not like hold this up any longer, because them bills.
Okay, right after the filing. Okay, a month later. Proof of service executed by plaintiff TED Entertainment upon defendant Morgan, whatever.
And it's also like I said,
served on.
If she's defrauding people on GoFundMe, that's a double whammy. That's like a double whammy. What will likely happen though is that maybe she'll just settle after she either wins or loses the appeal, and she'll be in contact with Ethan Klein. You'll see an apology statement given, and he'll ask for that GoFundMe. I don't even remember how much money Casey Tron raised. I think out of all three of them, either her or Frogan didn't get as much, and I think Denim's actually got the most of the money. Like, I think she got something like 76. Let's look that up real quick. Let's look that up. I meant to pull that up earlier, but I guess I forgot. I'm gonna go to Google this time. I'm not using Yahoo. Only Yahoos use Yahoo. I can't find anything on that. I can't find anything while using Yahoo. Denim's TV, GoFundMe. Yes, here it is. Okay, well, not as much as I thought. 58,000, and she was only asking for 100K. That's crazy. Let's see what her slideshow looks like. Okay, it's the same crap. When's the last? Oh, 4 hours ago, she received a donation of $25. Like, out of all the lawsuits, I think Denim's and Casey Tron were the most active in defending themselves, and literally Frogan, Miss Frogman, the frog, like dropped the ball on this. She actually made a statement. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I thought I had it here. Let's find out. No. Did I get rid of it? I think I got rid of it. Let me see if I can find it real quick on Twitter. No, wait. Reddit. Reddit posted something. I can find it again. Not a big deal. But she has come out and said something about it. She did actually come out and say something about it. Let's find out. Frogman. Yeah, Frogman. Frogan. Lawsuit. Default. She has a Reddit. No, they posted the Reddit in the Ethan Klein H3. Let's see. No, it's not pulling up now. I do know. Let me just tighten this up a bit. Yeah, there we go. That was what I was looking for. I hate Reddit. I hate going to Reddit. Okay. Oh, it was here. What is this? Let's go back to Leia Sapienti. Maybe she has the clip. Leia's a reposter and a content creator. Shout out. She's pretty good about finding clips and posting them. She's kind of like Yeet, except Yeet posts a lot more. He or she literally does. Brand risk. I don't know how to say your name. Brand risk, maybe. Well, not tonight because I got to go into work tonight. Thanks for commenting. No, I'm not. I'll probably catch up on that this next week or this coming week. Why is this not coming up now? This is very irritating. Why is this not coming up? Yeah, I need to go and check out that brand risk stuff. I don't know much about it. I heard some rumblings, but I couldn't detail really what's going on. Where is there we are. Another Kino Casino account. I'm just like brokenhearted. I'm brokenhearted about the cathedral. Whoo! She's lost some weight. Woo!
Game Pass.
Congrats.
Or are you gonna buy?
Like, congrats, Frogman. Like, she needed to lose weight. So that informs me she hasn't been spending the GoFundMe money on DoorDash.
Okay. Why a gift card?
So I can use my balance.
Oh, wait a minute. This is a clip of her
I'm so confused.
making a purchase so she can play a video game or something. That's funny. That's interesting. Sabrina Taylor. Let's read some of the chats here. Yeah, some of the chats were getting kind of snarky with her. This guy says in Wild Heart in her chat, it says, I donated $200 to your GoFundMe. Super disappointed as to the lack of clarity. I'm surprised she even kept that chat up. Yeah, this guy's kind of pissed. He may be just trolling. $200 is one hell of a dono. Super disappointed as to the lack of clarity regarding where that money went. Really let down. And she's on stream right now. No, not right now.
I don't think you guys realize the lawsuit.
Hold on.
is
Here
not
we go.
over.
Here we go.
I'm so confused.
Really let down. I don't think you guys realize that the lawsuit is still going.
The lawsuit is still on.
I don't think you guys realize the lawsuit is not over.
Yeah, literally the judge just has to put in a judgment for the amount of money you're going to give Ethan Klein. Literally. Like I said, I bet she comes in, sweeps in, he says, okay, read this, shut up, don't ever talk about me again, and also here's a PayPal request. I want your money. I want whatever you didn't pay to your lawyers, give that money to me right now. Honestly, I don't even think I'd do that for her at this point. She didn't even defend herself, or she hasn't defended herself yet. What has she been doing? And she raised money off of it too. It's like kind of scumbaggish. I will congratulate her about losing weight, though. I will do that.
Guys, I've been fighting this lawsuit since what's it called? Since August.
You're cooked, girl. You cooked. You better get your attorney on the phone right now and tell him to do something. 'Cause she looks like she's just like, she doesn't know what to do. I love that for her. I love it for her. She deserves everything she's getting. In my opinion. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to temper that opinion. I don't think those lawsuits should have happened. I really don't. But here's the thing. Here's the big, I'm going to be 100 with you. I'm going to be 100. Big dingo take here. I don't care. I don't care. These people are awful. Like, they say awful stuff, and they pretend they have the moral superior, opinion. The morally superior opinion. And it's just annoying. So, while I think the lawsuit shouldn't have happened, I also don't care. I just don't care. I'm just saying I don't care. That's all it is. I don't care. God, her chat's like moving at a snail's pace. I can't say anything. But still, come on.
As a trademark lawyer, I literally wouldn't. I'd rather boil my skin.
What is this? Okay, so I think she's lost for words right now. This is an existential moment. What was that? What was that, dude? There's been a few clips. That's one of them. Let me see if I can get Leia to... Yeah, here's Asmongold reviewing a Legal Mindset, by the way. If you don't know who Legal Mindset is, it's basically one of these internet attorneys that decides to make videos of legal analysis instead of actually practicing the law. Many such cases, by the way. Many such cases. Oh, another one that's tied up in a lawsuit, Noah Sampson. I think he's actually raised the most money. Let's check him out. Noah Sampson also has a GoFundMe. I hate the way he spells his name, though. Okay, give me a break. But I think he's raised like 70, and he's asking for like 200,000. That I remember. I remember that. I literally remember that. Yep, there it is. There it is, baby. 79K. And he started this. Let's see when he started this here. Does it say? Yeah, Klein versus Sampson, YouTube Free Speech Lawsuit Defense Fund, 79K. I don't think he'll reach that 200K because at this point, listen, if you're donating to any of these people, just stop. I mean, you do what you want. Donate to me instead. I'm just kidding. But literally, if you're donating to any of these people, you're kind of cooked in good faith. I mean, if you're one of these trolls, it's whatever at that point. Because at least the trolls understand that their donations will probably be handed over to the Kleins. It's just a thing. He says any funds in excess of 200,000 goal will be donated to the Palestinian aid. All money from the fundraiser will be donated once legal proceedings conclude. Yeah, I don't know, buddy. I don't know if you're hitting that 200K mark. And this guy's really. With all these lawsuits, man, I don't know how successful this one's gonna be. Because it does seem like this guy had a legit opinion, and it may not pass muster. Oh, God. Somebody donated a day ago. They said, it's a frightening sign of a new level of heartlessness displayed not only to you, but the Palestinian people fighting for their lives for so long. Everything's about Palestine at this point. It's literally irritating me. Like, there's a reason I don't really look into that stuff, because I don't care. I've been alive long enough to know that the Israel-Palestinian conflict has been going on for a lot longer than some of these people have been alive. I don't care. I don't care, mate. And this was created 3 days ago. Denham's only raised, 56? And this has been since, like, last August. Frogan, 38K. But this guy gets 79,000. I wonder what the difference is. I think this guy just has a bigger audience. But he's been going after the Kleins for months now. So it's not unexpected, I guess. This is not a copyright lawsuit, though. This is more of a defamation lawsuit. So it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he will get that 200K because it's only 3 days out, and he's raised 79,000 already. Let's go back to Destiny.
On 7/14, so July 14th, service was executed upon Jane Doe, member of household, in compliance with Federal Civil Procedure by substitute service at home address. Do you think she was hiding from the service? Is that why it took so long, or do you think it just takes a long time for the court to get these out? Stipulation for extension of time to file an answer to October 3rd, 2025 complaint. This was filed by... Did you see that Chud Logic shit got reported and it got a Discord/Twitch ban? I haven't over this latest shit. I thought about going the full, like, scorched earth report route. People have been spam reporting my Discord, by the way.
If you're not familiar with that, what he's talking about, basically Chud Logic, a few creators named Queeman, J-Stock, a lot of these former... Well, Queeman was never an orbiter of Destiny. I think at one point he liked him, and then he decided he didn't. But they were all caught up in this sort of snark drama that we'll probably look at later on in the week. And basically, from what I can tell, there was a secret server where some people were in there and they were trying to dox some people. From what I gather, they were trying to dox a moderator or something to find out if he was actually this creator named Tectone. And if you don't know who that is, good. He used to be a gaming streamer. I think he still games, but he's turned into a right-wing kind of grifter. But he also has his share of, like, issues, like he's been accused of SA. And it has something to do... He has a restraining order, a protection order against... not against, but it's by this creator, I think, but again, a name it goes by Pinky Chew or something, who I believe is a former either team member of his or a straight up ex-girlfriend. I can't remember exactly, but she's got a restraining order against him. So it's come to light that there were these secret Discord, very clandestine Discord chats or servers, or a server. And these people were trying to get the information, the personal identifying information of a specific couple people, or at least one person. And I'm speaking very generally about this because I haven't really dived into all of it. But, yeah. And apparently, somehow, Chud Logic, Queeman, J-Stock, I think some of them are more guilty than others, but from what I can tell, it's guilt by association. And they were trying to basically... They're saying... It's been said that they're trying to dox somebody, essentially. And from what the argument from at least Queeman Company is that it wasn't technically doxing because there was no plan to actually publicize the information. But, you know, some other people are like, well, no, that's technically doxing anyway. I don't know how I feel about that just yet. But I did give my opinion on that, I think, on Twitter. And it was basically a general opinion. And it's like, if you're caught doing any of this stuff, it's like, why? Why? Just to get some more clown points on Tectone? Because I know you guys don't care about Pinky Chew. You just don't care. You couldn't care. It's all about Tectone and nailing Tectone. So that's my feelings on it. I'll probably not change my opinion on that necessarily if I do a stream where I deep dive into that stuff. But I'll have to deep dive at least to get a better outlook on that. So that's what that's in reference to.
Oh, but I don't know, bother. It would, if I would have that, it would have been against Queeman, because I'm pretty sure he was like hurling multiple racial slurs at me in that convo. I just didn't even notice it. I tune out like the twink voice. It just disappears in my mind. Okay, on August 1st, Counsel for Frogan contacted Counsel for TEI by email.
Oh, bro.
To contest the
bro. Queeman, I'll say I don't like Queeman. I don't like his accent. I don't like his politics. Doesn't have a twink voice, though. You know who does, though? Wick TV. He literally has a twink voice. And he still hangs out, because Wick TV is one of the few people that would still hang out with Destiny. Because you remember when all the drama went down, almost every one of his orbiters said, nope, they noped the fuck out. Dan Saltman actually stayed, because they're really good friends. And I think Not So Erudite also stayed for a bit. I don't know where their relationship is now. I think they just put it on hold, because for a while after these allegations dropped and the Pixie stuff, Erudite was more than willing to work with them. But I think they had a podcast, and I think by the name of Anything Else, I think it was called Anything Else, and he kept saying some of the stupidest shit. So it made it hard for him to work with at least Erudite. So I don't know how tied up into Erudite stuff. I do know he's probably not going to go with her. She's already married, so I think she's the safe woman. Anyway, let's get back to
Validity
this.
of service. Oh, so they were trying to say, well, your service didn't count. You didn't actually serve us. So they're playing games. Okay. Whereas in the same email, counsel for Frogan offered to resolve the issue and avoid unnecessary motion practice by 1. Having TEI withdraw the July 18th, 2025 proof of service, or 2. Having Frogan execute a waiver of service and receive an additional 60 days to respond to the complaint. Whereas on the same day, counsel for TEI responded to counsel for Frogan without consent. By the way, this is more ordinary practice where it's the defendants that are usually trying to push everything down the road more and more and more and more and more. But this has been the opposite in my case, where I wanted to get things over with as quickly as possible, and it's the plaintiff that is kicking the can down the road on everything. But
Actually, that is kind of funny. I haven't been following the Pixie cases much just because it's complicated, kind of. I do need to look at that, I guess, but that'll be a much later stream, I suppose. Honestly, where I'm at as far as Destiny and Pixie, I don't really care who wins in this one. If Destiny wins, and haha Pixie, I don't care. And I don't care. I don't really care for her because I just don't like her politics. I wouldn't chide her as much as I would Destiny. But if Destiny loses, ha 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 on Destiny. That would be funny. But I don't know. The way it's looking, if he does lose, it'll be through a settlement and it won't be that big of a loss. I think she lost a lot of ground. Because if you remember when that stuff came out, God, I quit talking about that. I'm trying to get to Frogan. But I think it came out that, when it came out, she really didn't like the appearance of her having, a little bit of, relations with Destiny. Because it looks like, and she even acknowledged as much, that she was basically having sex with him just so she can get an online career. And that's kind of the truth. It's just the truth, man. There's no way around it. It is what it is. All adults, by the way. I would just recommend some adults, or a lot of adults, or every adult, don't record yourself doing that shit. That is so stupid, because you know how things are today. The file's in your phone. You forget that the file also goes up into the cloud if you have the cloud almost automatically, and then you've put it up on the internet already. Granted, it's behind a wall, but that's so silly. And it turned out, it came out that Pixie was also engaging in the same behavior as Destiny, just with a lot more consent. I think that's the case.
in the same email, Councilor TEI offered to streamline the resolution of the issue by granting Frogan an additional 60 days to respond to the complaint. Ooh, that's a good counter. So they might say, well, wait, let's do 60-day extension to, provide service. But Ethan's lawyers are like, well, hold on. You motherfuckers are already saying that you're going to fight over this service. How about we just say you've been served, but we'll give you an additional 60 days. We can file a joint thing. We agree to give you additional 60 days to respond. Whereas counsel for Frogan agreed to this arrangement so long as Frogan preserved her right to file any responsive pleading pursuant to Federal Civil Procedure Rule 12 with the exception of contesting service under FRCP Rules 12B 4-5 and counsel for TEI agreed. Okay, so they did agree on this. Whereas good cause exists for the stipulation because, one, it resolves the parties' issue, therefore it is thereby stipulated by and between the parties. Oh, okay, so they did agree to this. Give her additional 60 days to respond. Stipulation for extension of time, okay. And then the judge probably just signed the proposed order. You basically write up the...
So this is basically just outlining that she's had time. Ever since October when she was granted that 60-day extension, it's not like she hasn't had time. And here we are almost in June, and we've got a default judgment already. Man, it's not over yet. I kind of hope it becomes over because it's just too good. It's just too good. Because I feel like I want to hear Frogan give an apology to Ethan Klein. Right? And some people are asking that, I think even Destiny. Like, my idea is that maybe she just tried to bypass all this stuff so she didn't have to do all the, basically the apology tour. And then I heard, I think it stipulated that, Casey Tron was maybe obligated to hand over information that could possibly help in Frogan's lawsuit and Denham's. Like texts or stuff that might help their case. Maybe Frogan's trying to avoid that. I don't see how she does that. She's either going to have to take the judgment and say, oh, well. And he'll probably nail her to the wall on that, too. Say, like, okay, I want $150,000. I want $150,000. Or what you do is you give me your money. Give me the money you haven't spent on attorneys, which doesn't look like a lot. You read this apology, and we go our separate ways. And then also, you're going to help me in the Denham's lawsuit by handing over this, and this, and this. I don't know. Maybe Frogan saw what happened to Casey Tron and said, that couldn't be me. That couldn't be me, dog.
Order for the judge, like, listen, and as long as like both parties are agreeing, right? Listen, we've both agreed on this shit. This is not like a response reply scenario. Like, here, judge, can you just like sign this order that we both agreed to? So the judge probably just signed this order. And it seems like the judge did. That was on August 5th, 2025. What is this? 8 months later, May 19th. And they just didn't respond. They didn't respond. There was no. You have the complaint is filed.
Bro. Literally given like she got more than 60 days in August, right? She got more than 60 days. She literally had this entire time. It is now May 19th. And they requested the Kleins requested a default judgment. So literally what comes next is, and I'm not sure what's going to happen now, because if she's got any smart bones in her body, here's the thing. She could absolutely default. And Klein could be like, there could be a judgment of $190,000.
Okay, I want to come to this.
But here's the thing. He doesn't actually have to accept it. He could just say, here's the alternative. And we'll settle. So maybe she's hoping on that, but I don't know. Part of me thinks she's not thinking that far ahead, at least as far as trying to avoid becoming Ethan Klein's bitch. But, you know, I think she looked at Casey Tron and said, okay, maybe I can do that. I don't know what she was thinking by waiting this long. I don't even think Casey Tron actually made his... Let me see if I can pull that out. It may be gone now. Let me see. I'd have to think it's probably gone. Okay, well... I spelled Casey Tron wrong. Yeah, I think it's down. I think, you know, enough time has been, the money's been already proffered. And, yeah, I don't remember how much but it wasn't as much as Denham's, I don't think.
You're pleading. So Ethan is saying, I'm suing you. And then the defense here needs to either enter their response, which might be a denial of the majority or all of the claims. It could be a motion to dismiss. But it sounds like they just filed nothing. So then it'll just be the default judgment, which I don't know how they determine if that's just going to be the full amount that...
Yeah, literally the next thing on the plate is the judge is going to decide how much damages to award the Kleins. And that's when Klein will probably swoop in and it's like, I have a better idea. But he'll probably be in contact with either Frogan directly or with her representation, which people aren't... people are thinking she didn't have any. Or she didn't do much. I mean, she had to have, right? She had to have had at least some sort of legal representation. But I think if it comes out that she didn't use the money for this purpose, she's going to have to give that money back. Unless, you know, GoFundMe lets her, you know, get off, which it's probably happened.
Ethan was initially seeking in the complaint here. TI be awarded defendants in each of their profits, plus TEI's losses attributable to the defendants, infringement of the nuke, the exact sum to be proven at the time of trial, or, if elected, statutory damages in the amount of $150K.
Whoa.
Awarded reasonable attorney's fees. Awarded prejudgment interest is allowed by law.
She could start a new GoFundMe, I guess, if she gets that default judgment, and Ethan Klein just, you know, holds her to account on that. It could happen.
Further relief, as the court deems proper. So it'll probably be, I don't know if they'll get attorney's fees, but it sounds like they'll just get the full $150K. What did how much did she fundraise for this?
Like,
That
she
does-
can't afford this. They will go after your bank account. They'll garnish. They'll go after Twitch. They'll be like, Twitch, pony up that cash. Pony up that delicious Frogan cash. Give it to me. They'll do it. They'll do it.
There's a rumor going around that this may be part of
Congratulations to Frogan for losing so much weight, by the way. Again, I just have to congratulate her. She might be losing more.
Denham's strategy. The theory is that she is effectively paying Frogan not to file anything yet, so that they can wait and see how the judge rules, allowing her legal team to prepare for whatever decision is made. There are also rumors that Frogan has left the country, so clicking any money for could be extremely... Well, what do you mean? The judge is going to give them the default, no? What do you mean, no? She fundraised $38,000. Question mark, that's retarded? Well, that might not be retarded, because I'm reading through their prayer for relief down here, and it sounds like they're implicating the H3 Snark people in some of this lawsuit. And if that is the case, it's possible that Frogan participating in this lawsuit could get more information to Ethan that could help him in the lawsuit
didn't know that.
against Denham's. So
What is this? It says, time to watch the new Nuke ethically. Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate... I got to get my hands on these documents. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. Frogan prior to reacting to content. She's going to have to settle. She's either going to take the judgment, which would be devastating. I think it would be devastating. But I don't think Ethan Klein would necessarily do that. I think he's going to give her the same deal as Casey Tron. I just think this. It says here, I came from the H3 Snark Reddit. I found my way from Reddit. Frogan reading comments and chat prior to reacting. So she had snarkers in. She had the H3 Snark Redditors in her chat. So they're thinking, and Destiny's basically saying, yeah, if he wants more information, he'll make a deal with her. And it could help against his other lawsuits, because I believe he has a lawsuit against the H3 Snarkers. Like, he's trying to get their information. I think he got it. I got to catch up on that.
if that were the case...
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing. He's... Dude, chair stream, let's go. I gotta get up. I gotta get my Taco Bell. It's cooling off outside. Hold on.
It might make sense for
Dude, Taco Bell sounds really good right now. Is it Taco Bell time?
Denims to pay Frogan, or for Frogan to just fuck off completely, so that they're not fighting the same legal battle on two fronts, and then Denims, through her lawsuit, can fight everything, and Frogan can just take a default judgment, leave the country, and say whatever. Maybe.
Okay, yeah. People are saying she's left the country, but also, you know, she's live streamed recently, and it looks like she's in the same room, so I doubt that's the case. I don't think leaving the country would necessarily save you from a judgment like this.
I want to come to this.
Might be a pain in the ass, but you could get judgments in other countries, unless it's Argentina. Maybe not Argentina. Maybe she's going to go buddy up with, what's that guy's name? That other guy. Because that guy would totally be sued if he wasn't, you know. I think it's actually hard to bring lawsuits against, I can't remember that dude's name. That guy is cringe. He's like a Hassan. Well, I don't think he likes Hassan now, because they tend to have like a falling out and a reemergence of love, a reemergence of great appreciation.
Okay, I want to come to this.
But I can't remember his name. Bad Emma Panda. So maybe, you know, maybe she buddies up and shacks up with Bad Emma Panda for a couple years. She'd be leaving her family and stuff. I had this like debate with Leia on Twitter like 2 months ago. It wasn't really a debate. It was just like a couple comments, but Leia was saying something about Frogan getting a job, because she has a master's in data analytics, which is a good degree. You can earn good six figures or a high-paying job at that. And I think that's what she was doing before she started full-time with streaming some time ago. And I was like, I don't know. If she tries to get a job somewhere out there in the private sector, they're going to have like all this data footprint on Frogan. And you know what? These employers are going to be like, oh, you said this on stream. Why? I don't think it would be as easy. I still think she could get a job and just, you know, like, go be a normie again, whatever that looks like. I don't think she wants to, though. Because she's made more money on this internet stuff than I think she's ever made. And, well, I don't even know about that. Like, she's not really making even that much money. Like, I'd guess maybe around 5 to 6K a month. Maybe not even that. Hey, if she's even making that, like, actually, I take that back. She's probably not. Where does she live? She lives in Los Angeles, one of the most expensive cities. Let's continue.
Country, but I also don't know if you could garnish wages from somebody who gets like 1099 income. It's not like she's a W-2 earner or something, but
Oh, they could totally go to Twitch and be like, hey, Twitch, you're gonna need to pony up this cashola. We're gonna need these casheroonies. Pay them up. I don't know though. Maybe Destiny's right, because I guess that's a 1099. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. If I ever start making any amount of money on this stuff, I'm probably gonna have to figure all that shit out. I'd probably try to figure it out on my own, but I'd probably let a CPA do it for me, because fuck that. Fuck taxes. That stuff is complicated, and you cannot mess that stuff up.
you can. Is she broke?
Are you okay? Okay, so she can.
Well,
Okay.
something is strategic happening here, right? Because why would you
Like
not
they
even
could,
respond
they
at
could
all
still
to a
attach
lawsuit?
themselves
Like,
to
you
their
could just
bank
say-
account.
Like, you could just enter a default pleading of, like, you
That's
know,
simple.
I didn't. What is your default pleading called in a civil case? It's not guilty, but you would refuse, or you would deny each of the claims stated in the complaint, and then you would just go through the process, I guess. Destiny. Also, this judgment can follow her to other countries if Ethan goes to the expense. Yeah, but don't you have to go to every single local court and like file the judgment there? I don't know how annoying that would be. But Destiny, I don't get civil court. Can I just sue anyone and they have to pay a lawyer and get discovery and get their messages and all their info? Yep. Court. Can
Let's read some of the comments here. 'Cause some of the comments are stupid as hell,
I like file the judgment there?
but some of them are actually making some good points. Daisy says she's terminally American. No matter what LARP she says, she would lose her mind living out of her neighborhood. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think she'd like to leave the country, though. I don't know if she has enough money. Right? Like, you can't just pick up and go to another country and then expect to stay. Like, not every country's like the U.S. It's just not. She probably could, though, to some degree. I don't think she'd enjoy it, though.
I don't know.
I'd ask her to move to Palestine. She could literally set up base there. She could be like Burger Squad 1. She could free the Palestinians.
How annoying that would be. But Destiny, I don't get civil court. Can I just
Yeah, a
sue
lot of these
anyone?
chats are kind of like spicy. I'm not reading them. Can't do it. Can't do it. Frogan getting deported via the jaws of life.
And they have to pay a lawyer.
That would be... Dude, could you... could you imagine? She gets yeeted. Nah, there's no... She's American. Why would she get deported? Unless she did go to another country and found out she couldn't really make it there, and they just deported her for being like poor and sued. You're poor. You're sued. You got to get out. You got to get except in a different
Get
language.
discovery and get their messages.
Maybe
all-
another English-speaking country like Britain. She could go there, or she could pull a Keffels and go to Ireland. Does she go to Ireland? She went to
their
Ireland.
info. Yep. Read page
Is she still in Ireland? What does that woman do? I say woman.
4. It's actually funny to see how much she tried to avoid service. Destiny, new attack on Democrat. Without Googling, what happened?
Okay, this guy
Attack-
says, the dramatic dream, he says, the idea is, yes, Frogan will lose, but let's say, example, the judge is like, I'm not going to award Ethan $100,000 with this. You can get $2,000. Goodbye. And then Denham's is like, screw this, I'm going to counters now. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know. The judge could do that, but that, I can't see that happening. I could just see the judge saying, screw it, 125 grand. Sorry, Charlie. Play again. Maybe show up next time. To play the game. You got to play the game.
on Spanberger for vetoing a bill.
But yeah, maybe not 150,000. Maybe just 100,000.
But probably not a law they could win on in court, and instead taking executive action. Is this about data centers? I don't fucking know. I don't care. Okay. We're on Ethan Klein drama right now. Okay. At the time of service, I was at least 18 and
I did.
at home. Papers were served on this date.
So, like, this goes over, like, what, or at least Destiny does. He goes over, like, what they had to do to actually get her served. Like, she lives in one of these apartments, I guess, where you, or, I don't know, a condo, flat, whatever. And she's got, like, there's doors, security doors where you got to enter a code if you live there. If you don't live there, you're not getting in. So, let's see what he says.
They were mailed. Okay. This is a 5-story business-style apartment building that is secured by a locked door and intercom. Our subject name is not listed on the intercom list. No one was seen on the inside.
Yeah, I bet she took that stuff off, too. Did they even have Like, they got a registered process server. Was this a private process server or appointed by the court? Because you got to pay extra for either of those, I believe. I think. Maybe not for the court one. But the court process servers tend to be, like, lazy. Whereas the private ones, I think they tend to be more, like, they have a background in private eye detection, private eyeing, stuff like that. Cleat certification, stuff like that.
I could not gain access. I
Their job is to find someone and serve them.
decided to wait outside
And they want to get paid. I mean, they still get paid, I think, if they, fail, but I don't know how that works.
the front of the building until I was able to gain access by someone letting me in while they're leaving or arriving. Holy shit, he's taken. Oh my god. At 3:15 a.m.
They literally hired Liam Neeson for this. He was like, I have a certain set of skills, and I will find you, and I will serve you.
Is that right? 3:15 a.m. This guy is
Dude.
taken. What the fuck?
Yeah, this guy wanted to get paid. 3:15. Like, yeah. And then it goes on to 4:30.
15 a.m.
And this is two different dates. This is July 1st, 2025, July 2nd, 2025. Upon arrival, I was not able to get access. The doors to the property were locked. So it's like one of those vestibules that keeps you, it basically keeps out people that shouldn't belong there, but people still get in, obviously. And I guess it is really, that's a bummer. You have to go through that just to get someone served. It says, upon arrival, I was not able to get access. The door is to the property was locked. I waited outside the front of the building, and we waited for someone to enter and exit so I can gain access at 3:05 a.m. Whoa. Does Frogan even stream that late? I have to imagine she should probably be trying to stream every day after this and not talking about Ethan. I was able to gain access by entering in as a resident or guest was leaving the building. I approached the elevator. I took to the 4th floor, located unit number 403. Hold on. Hold on. I want to read this, but we need a little bit of mogging. Why does this thing fuck me over every freaking time? Hold on. We got this. Let's check the levels on this, because I don't have a second screen, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. A nice overlay. Let's read it. Let me pull it up. Let me blow it up. Upon arrival, I was not able to get access. Located unit number 403, and then stepped away. And stepped back and walked down the hall, so I would not look as if I was waiting for someone from that unit. I posted up, and I maintained my position down the hall from 3:15 a.m. until 6:30. This guy was like, I'm getting my man. Or my woman. Or both. During this time, there were no changes. No one was seen entering or exiting the unit. The door remained closed. I quietly walked up to the door and listened closely for any movement. I did hear movement on the inside. I did not knock on the door, for I am not the one who knocks. Instead, I just took note of my findings. Left at 6:30 at the crack-ass of dawn. So wait, hold on. When did they actually get served, though? Come on, let's continue.
I was able to gain access by following.
I'm gonna skip this part because I've already read it.
Something hallway and be down the hallway and be able to stay out of view and be able to watch the unit without being too
Dude,
inconspicuous.
this guy's like in
At
the
4:30
people in Dark Souls. They like wait forever to get invaded, and then they'll pop one of those special items that transform you into like a random fixture around, or they'll dress up like one of the NPCs and just wait. They'll kill one of the enemies standing there, and they'll dress up like them and just stand there. Because the phantoms don't get attacked. You could just quietly observe someone invading your game and getting really pissed off they can't find you.
a.m. At this time, nobody left or entered the unit. I stepped away and left the location without being noticed. No activity. Left at 4:30 a.m. Jesus Christ.
Although in this case, Frogan might be the statue.
Right.
Miss Frog.
We waited in there for an hour.
The Fog Man.
And then here at 2:30 a.m. Oh, holy shit! Wait, how many times did they have to try to do service here? Upon arrival, I was able to get access. The door to the property were locked.
That was the same one, asshole.
Approached the elevator, took the fourth
You're reading
floor.
the same one. That's 7.
Or,
Bro.
maintained my position down the hall from 3:15 a.m. until 6:30 a.m. During this time, there were no changes. No one was seen entering or exiting the building. The door remained closed. I quietly walked up to the door and listened closely for any movement.
This guy
I did
was
hear movement on the
committed.
inside.
I want this
I
guy
did
on
not
my
knock on the
team.
door.
I am not fucking with this guy. I would never fuck with this guy. I would never do it.
Instead,
Well,
I
couldn't
just
be
took
me.
note of my findings.
Couldn't be me.
2 a.m. Upon arrival.
Okay. Okay, let's continue. Let's literally continue. Again. This date, 7/5/2025. Upon arrival, I was not able to gain access. The doors to the property were locked. I maintained my position outside of the main entrance, sitting on a large planter. At 3:07 a.m., I was able to gain access. A resident was exiting the building. I proceeded to the elevator, where I took the elevator up to the 4th floor. I continue until I got to Unit 403. No movement was heard. I positioned myself down the hallway. I had a clear view of the front door, but I was far enough away where I would not be seen from anybody looking through the peephole. What the fuck? From 2:15 a.m. until 8 a.m. Holy shit. I hope this guy brought a lunchbox. I literally hope he did. I had a clear view of the front door, but I was far enough away where I would not be seen from anybody looking through the peephole. During this time, there was no changes. 8 a.m., damn. I made an attempt where I walked up to the door, and I knocked on the door. And I placed a document on the ground, saying, delivery, and stuff to wait. I waited outside the hallway, at a site, for approximately 10 minutes. No one came out to pick up the documents. I don't believe anybody was home. 7:14, 6:12 p.m.
I was not able to gain access.
It says substitute service on an individual. Blah, 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 blah. Jane Doe, occupant. African American or Middle Eastern. Bro. This could be her, this could not be her. I don't know. I don't know if I'd classify. She kind of does look African American. What? But definitely, she definitely looks Middle Eastern. After arrival, I could not gain access. The entrance to the building was locked. I positioned myself in front, and I was able to gain access. And enter. I entered in after a resident was leaving with his dog. It was a schnauzer. I proceeded on the 4th floor, nose wet. What? I approached Unit 403, and I could hear a female voice talking. I could talk. So what time is this? 2:12? I could not tell what was being said, but it sounded like someone was giving their point of view. What? I stepped away and positioned myself in the hallway far enough as to not be seen by anyone within the unit looking out of the peephole. Through my time waiting, I could hear constant talking with brief moments of silence. That sounds like her. That sounds like her. I'm just saying. At 6:12 p.m., I heard the doorknob of Unit 403 make noise, and the door quickly opened. Her DoorDash had just arrived. I saw a disturbing sight as I saw her picking up her food, and she ate the entire bag right in front of me. I'm just kidding. Stepping out was a darker female, possibly African American or Middle Eastern. In her 40s. In her 40s, really? She looked that bad, 5'6". I'll tell you what. We gotta start this over. We gotta start this over, dog. There we go.
Says that with
Okay, Stephen. Throughout my time waiting, I could hear constant talking with brief... We already did that. Dark, long, curly hair with dark eyes. That sounds like her. I ask her if she is Jane Doe. And she said, why? I said I have some legal documents for you. And she said she is not who I think she is. I asked her if Morgan lived there. Ooh, shit, I said it. Sorry. Know that she has lived there for 6 years, and there is no person by this name. I asked her if she would show ID, showing that she was not the person. I told her since she won't show ID, that I will be serving her. She refused to take the documents, so I placed them in front of a door. The female saw me place them there. She said, I'm not who you think I am. You could speak to management. What the fuck? You could speak to management. Dude, you're being served. Like, what does that even mean? She told me I could speak to management. Just then, a DoorDash came out of nowhere and said, I'm also serving her, but I'm serving her fries. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking kidding. Let's continue.
We were locked. I maintained my position outside of the main entrance, sitting on a large planter. At 3:07 a.m., I was able to gain access. A resident was exiting the building. I proceeded to the elevator.
Okay, let's continue.
I entered in after a resident was leaving with his dog.
Let's skip ahead because I don't need to know all this stuff. It's funny. It's funny.
This yet? Oh, he made a short form.
Oh, is he going to talk about
Refused to
Noah
take the
Sampson
documents, so I
now?
placed them in front of her door. The female.
I don't want to talk about Noah Sampson. We'll have to dive into that.
I didn't watch this
That
yet.
bag of worms
Oh,
much
he made a
later.
short
That
form
bag
of it.
worm.
Is this intentional? I feel like he's framed Ethan here with the sun in the background. It kind of looks angelic.
The American millionaire podcaster is suing.
Yeah, I think he's going to talk about.
What the fuck?
Let's see what he says.
This is upholding Section 230.
Okay, we're off the. I think we're off the lawsuit stuff for at least Frogan. Yeah, that's my huge high water take at this point. Is that she's basically screwed, and she's going to have to come up with not only. Maybe the GoFundMe stuff isn't that big a deal, but her lawyer's going to have to file an appeal and do it quickly before that judge just decides. It could take another month or 2 months for that to even happen. And there's no guarantee she would be granted a... because she's already been given enough time. Like, Ethan could file like something and saying, no, you need to reject this appeal because she got a 60-day back in August 2025. What? And she's literally been given so much more time than that. I think it's over for her. I think she's going to have to concede. She's going to have to get the Kleins on a phone call and say, okay, Ethan, what do you want me to do? I mean, what do you want from me? And I think it's going to play out just like Casey Tron, but I could be surprised. I could be surprised. Anyway, let's get off that segment. I wanted to move on to some other stuff. I think I might have to wrap stream here real quick, but let's see what we got.
When they talk at length about the law enforcement crew.